Hey everybody, it's Amy Graham, the Badass Valkyrie, and these are my 2021 Power Sheets from Cultivate What Matters, and this is their goal planner. And this is what I'll be using to do my goals throughout 2021. This year has been difficult, to say the least, and at the end of last year, I used the 6-month undated planner, and then 2020 hit, and I kind of just fell off the wagon. I'm like, eh. And as far as my goals for 2021, the only goal I really have left is hitting 800 miles, as far as running 800 miles for the year. And I will reach that by the end of the year. But I've spent some time going through these, and I just wanted to kind of share with you what my goals for 2021 are. I don't really do resolutions per se, but setting goals is something that has always helped push me forward, and it's kept me on track. And so if you don't want to have goals, that's totally up to you. But this has helped me kind of get into a mindset of goal setting again, especially after this year. But I did not do everything in here to do the whole goal planning thing, but you'll see what I've done in here. So you open it up. I did get what are these called? The goal sheets that kind of go along. It's a packet that you could order additional. So these don't actually come with the Power Sheets, but you can download different versions of them on their website. So, and this is the stickers. This is the opening for it. And I chose the blue sky version, which I think is gorgeous. Blues and teals are kind of the theme for this year. Blues, teals, and purples. So, cultivate a year. This cultivated year belongs to Amy Graham. I started this on December 22nd. And here is where the stickers were, but I pulled them out so that I could use them easily. So they'll just kind of live there. And then what you're ready for a new year, and it kind of explains the 2021 Power Sheets. And you get into the Cultivate What Matters 2021 goal ideas. And this is where I kind of started out my goals, and then I left them for a little while and came back. So the ones that I started with are in the teal, and then the black are the ones that I added in more recently. And as you can kind of see, the different ones, some of the big ones are to keep sugar off of my menu, to do more miles in 2021. I am redoing my 101 goals in 1001 days, which started on my birthday, December 13th. And better self-care options, learn more about eclectic things that I enjoy, do an extra payment to the house and to the car, plan a bigger garden. I want to actually execute a backyard plan for next year, and some various things in here. So all of this is where I just kind of jotted down my ideas. Comparison isn't just the thief of joy, it's the thief of everything. And I kind of went through this and started working through some of the things that I wanted to do. And about me, some of the different things I felt more comfortable putting, and then some I was just like, it doesn't really help me. So I'm pretty good. Sorry, there's a cat hair there. You can tell Heimdall's been on my desk. When I goal set, I kind of know sort of what I want to do for the year. And so a lot of this is helpful if you don't have any ideas to what your goals were. Although I will say that I did adjust some of my goals so that they were more well-rounded and not so specific. And then also up front, I will say that I did a lot of this walking and watching through Cindy Baldo's setup for these. And blatantly, flat out, there is one goal that I actually stole from her because it is something that I needed to do, and it didn't really come to me until I saw her talking about it, and I'm like, that's exactly what I've been thinking I need to do, but I was trying to figure out a different way to put it, and it just didn't work. So I will point that out to you when we get there. But I did go through the different exercises, what makes you come alive, what fires me up, various things in this. Then I went through and I did my life evaluation. My health, it's generally good. I put that as an 8. I need shots, or I push myself too hard. I also need to lose about 45 pounds since COVID hit me, and I put on weight that I need to take off. For my friends, I felt more isolated since COVID, which leads me to feel less social and less likely to reach out to friends. And that has been a significant change for me. And so my friends, I put a 4. My spouse and focal relationship, I have loved being home with Greg, and he and I are super happy. And so this is actually the highest one I have, which interestingly enough, Cindy and I are very similar in this, but I mean, there are certain things that could be better, but it's not that they're bad. It's they could have like a cherry on top of everything because they're good. My family, I do need to reach out more. I kind of feel like I'm being pushed to be the matron of the family since I'm the only girl, and I don't really want that role. So I put it as a 7. We're not a particularly close-knit family. There are people in my family that I'm close to, but in general, we are not the huggy kind of, oh my gosh, you're my best friend kind of family. And we just never have been. And I am the closest to Greg than I have been to anyone in my family, outside my family, anywhere. And I'm close to my brothers, but not all of my brothers. So it's been an interesting view of that. Having best friends that have had family that, they have considered their best friend, or, parents that they were super close to. That wasn't me growing up. I did not have a great childhood growing up. I came from an abusive family, and it's been difficult. But with that said, I would not be the woman I am today had I not gone through the struggles that I have. So in a way, I'm thankful for that, but I was not raised in that loving, caring, nurturing family household that so many people are. And in fact, it was completely the opposite. So yeah, very different. But again, there are family members that I am close to, but I also don't want to be that matron that plans everything, does everything, and then everybody just kind of falls into, line behind me. I'm like, no, you guys get to create too. You guys get to figure this out with me. I am not the mother because I am the only female. So that's where that is. Finances, I'm in a great place with my credit for the first time in my life, but I need to work on my retirement plan and get guidance, and I also need to know more about savings. So I put it as an 8. There is room for improvement, but it is nowhere near where it used to be, and I have literally raised my credit score almost 150 points over the past year. Huge accomplishment, and I'm so happy with where I'm at right now, and I never thought I would be here. Even at 54 years old, I never thought that I would be here. Spiritual and personal growth is at an 8, and I need to learn more about running my future business and research everything that I will need. Spiritually, I'm finally in a path that feels right to me. It's eclectic and it's what I've always gravitated towards. And I finally am in a place where I'm comfortable embracing it. So that is an 8. My work, needless to say, I am frustrated. Working from home has been great in certain areas, but it's hindered some things as well. And some of that is relationship building, especially with getting a new boss and having to deal with being an event planner by trade and not having events. And so I've been kind of pigeonholed into, social media and marketing and all of that, which I have no training in other than what I do for my own channels. But it's not something that I enjoy. I certainly don't enjoy marketing, and it's been a struggle. And every day at work, even though I'm sitting at my desk, my work desk, here at home, it's still a struggle. And it has been much more stress in the last 6 months than it ever has been before. And so work right now is a 5, and part of that is work, but part of that also is me figuring out how to navigate that and navigate an entirely new path that has changed because of the pandemic. So while it is not all one particular thing, it's all of the things all of the time, bringing me stress constantly. And then finally, recreation. It's a pandemic. Not been a lot of recreation. And so right now it's a 3, because other than going out for groceries and going to pick up food through a drive-through, we basically sit at home and watch television. And not that that's bad. It's just I am used to being on the go 24/7, and changing that and being more introverted, not an introvert, but being introverted as opposed to being super extroverted has been a huge change for me. And so having to navigate recreation and fun is something that I've just kind of put on the back burner and just said it's going to be what it's going to be. But given the fact that we have no idea how 2021 is going to go forward, I need to come up with a more substantiated plan for fun and recreation, which will also go back to reducing my stress here, giving me more personal growth, helping me with my family and friends, and helping me with my health. So I look at all 8 of these things as being intertwined, because if one of them suffers, to a certain extent, all of them suffer. So this was a very good exercise, and I'm glad I did that. So what worked this last year running, I've ran more miles this year than ever before. I increased my credit score and have paid down debt and increased savings. My home life, because we had to, I'm making it a space that I love, not just tolerate or have exist because that's what I thought needed to happen. I got way more time with Greg, and we've spent so much more time together this year, and we just want more. We have cooked more at home than we've eaten out, and I've gotten better at meal planning. I've been driving less because I'm not having to commute to work. I got caught up on my shows. When I was training 24/7 for the past 5 years, I missed a lot. And now that I can slow that down and not have to, have a 2-hour commute and then have to work out on top of that just in time to maybe game for an hour and then fall into bed, has been great. And then Kelly, my best friend, and I, we've actually started doing a weekly coffee chat online, and using Facebook Messenger so that we can see each other, and that's been really nice. People that I'm grateful for: Greg, He's made working from home and being home so much easier and more fun. Kelly, she gives me a place to just kind of chill. My brother Rick, he's part of our bubble, and it helps keep me sane because he and I are closer in age than I am with my younger brothers, and he's the one that I grew up with. And over the years, we've been able to just kind of connect with each other and realize that a lot of the things that we felt were wrong with ourselves were things that other people taught us and habits that we picked up from our home life, and that it's not all of our fault, which has been huge. Challenges. What didn't work in the last year? COVID-20. The 20 pounds that I put on when COVID hit. Coke. I went crazy for about 2.5 months. Stress, working from home has been a blessing and a burden. Losing Saki after 14, 15 years. That was super hard. Still is. Staying constant with habits because, pandemic is easy to blame on everything. And I did for a while. Doing a budget and bills and keeping track. Not that nothing's getting paid. It is. It's just keeping track and keeping ahead of everything. It's like, it'll hit like the mid-month and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't even done the bills yet. Not good. Cleaning the house. I envy the people who are like, my house has never been cleaner. I'm like, my house has never been messier. It's clean. It's just messy and cluttered. Moving clutter around instead of doing something about it. And then project follow through. Lessons I've learned. I need to pay more attention in all areas of my life. Because if I don't, more than one domino will fall at a time. I actually enjoy staying home more than I thought I did. It's okay to rest. Don't let emotional vampires bleed me dry. Oh, how that has been a huge, huge lesson that I learned in 2020. Not everything can be a priority. And don't take Greg for granted. So those are the good things, the challenges, the people I'm grateful for, and the lessons I've learned. Then get ready to break free. Things that, how many times have you accepted defeat before trying? There's that. Who I really am. And I'm moving past fear. And if I were to step into my fears and take action, I would feel a lot less stressed about my life overall. Let's see. I fear I will not have enough money to retire on because I don't maximize my options. I fear I will do something rash and lose my insurance, my job, because I don't like the direction my job is going right now. I fear people will think less of me because I don't know what I'm doing. I fear that at some point my body will give out and I won't be an athlete anymore. And I fear that no matter what I do, I won't be enough because that's just who I've been all my life. I have never felt that I was enough, ever. And whether or not these fears are rational doesn't matter. They're all valid in my head. So, the big picture, imagine yourself many years from now, looking back on your whole life. Where will you be grateful you spent your time and attention? With Greg, with my fur babies, with my family, figuring out how much fun we had, that I enjoyed my life to its fullest, and how healthy I was. What won't have mattered is if my house was perfect, if I wrote down every stat, how many miles I ran, if I wore pajamas for an entire year, which, it's getting pretty close to that, and how much money I died with. Because, she who dies with the most, whatever, fabric, toys, whatever, wins. Well, that's not really the case. And whereas I don't have children to pass it on to, I want Greg and I to enjoy our life. and enjoy what we have as adults and use what we have. My legacy starts now. What I'm saying yes to, what I'm saying no to, these kind of things, it didn't really resonate with me. So I'm just like, okay. And so neither did the Imagine It, Your Best Year. And so I just kind of jumped into my goals here. And I kind of had a rough draft already in various forms. And I'd started writing them all down. And so I didn't really need to put them here. So I just jumped in. So my yearly goals, and these are color coded, and I already have, I'm using the mild liners and matched the colors. So goal number 1 is take better care of my body. Goal number 2 is plan for my retirement. Number 3, incorporate more creativity into my life. Goal number 4, make our house a home. Goal number 5, create more fun and enjoyment this year. Goal number 6, prioritize my mental health. And this is the one that I blatantly stole from Cindy, because when she put that up, I was like, that's exactly what I need to do. I seriously need to be able to have better mental health and reduce my stress, have better self-care. And so I'll go into a little bit more once we break down each of these. Goal number 7 is use what I have and spend less. And then goal number 8, my brand, bigger, better, more badass. So those are my 8 goals for the year. My word of the year is adaptability, but also change, miracles, love, alignment, and illumination. So adaptability kind of incorporates all of those for me. And why I choose this word. If 2020 has taught me anything, it's the fact that change and the need to adapt are things I don't like. I need to be able to adapt and not let the change get me down. So that's why adaptability is my overall word of the year. So goal number 1, action plan, take better care of my body. Why? As I get older, it takes more to maintain, and I need to train smarter, not harder. Excuse me. And this is where I kind of broke down and added a lot of my specific training goals. So running 1,000 miles in the year, which is 83.33 miles a month. I want to incorporate yoga, my TRX, my bikes, both my regular bike inside and then my triathlon bike outside, and Pel work, which is my sword work, into my training. And so creating a training goal or a training plan for that. Lose 45 pounds within the year, which is 3.75 pounds a month. Start the tummy tuck process with my bariatric group. I have got to get to a point where I can have my panniculus removed. It is coming to a point where it's hindering me, and which sounds funny since it didn't hinder me for the 5 years that I was sword fighting, but it actually did. I just trained around it because I knew that the time frame that I had to sword fight and be a semi-professional fighter was very small. That window was very small. And so I just did what I had to work around it. Now I have the time and the ability to get it taken care of. And I need to within the next 2 years or so. Otherwise, I don't know that my body will bounce back afterwards. So I just turned 54 this month, and I want to make that one of my priorities. I also need to monitor my osteoarthritis pain levels. They are getting worse, but I'm finding better ways to manage that. And then my meal planning is no sugar, lower carbs. And on solstice this year, I signed up for Noom. And I've paid for 6 months, so I'm going to give it a shot and see. It's an app, and it's more about the psychological side of things as opposed to calorie counting or, steps or anything like that. It's kind of an overall package that deals with weight loss in a psychological kind of way. And so it was something that I did while I was watching the fire over Yule, and it just felt right. So we'll see what happens. But my mini goal for January through March for this is to create a workable training plan and stick to it, which includes yoga, TRX, bike, po work, my running, which is 3.21 miles a day, using my new map every day, and creating better nutrition for myself. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is creating a plan for my retirement, because if we don't, we will have to work until we die, to put it blatantly. I will by the end of the year, I will have an investment portfolio and know how to use it to the extent that I can. And these are kind of the mini goals that I worked out. Figure out where we're at for our retirement, invest my AT&T money. I have a 401k that I need to roll over from the time I worked with AT&T, and so which was right after college, and I need to maximize my current 401k, work with AJ, who is my nephew, to create a viable plan. He actually does this in Boca for retirees, and so I'm like, hey, nephew, help me out. Learn and research more about coffee shops. I have had a plan in place, but this year has proven that anything restaurant or food or drink related is not really going to work for how we move forward in the future. Because if you take nothing away from 2020, other than this, it is that nothing will ever be the same again. It will totally change the way we do fast food, we do takeout, we do restaurants, all of that. And so now I need to kind of readjust that plan. I want to do some barista training. I also want to figure out how coffee sourcing is done and how sustainable sourcing is done. I want to go from farm to grinder and figure out how that is done, what that process is, and what it entails. So my goal for January through March is work with AJ to figure out where we are and create a viable financial plan for the future. Action plan goal number 3, incorporate more creativity into my life. I have project ADD, and I need a plan to get projects done, and I want to use the kits and everything that I already have. Through this past year, I have bought so many different things. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. That looks cool. I want to do that. I need to do this. I want to do that. And I'm like, I need to stop. And I need to figure out how to do different things. And I want to have 12 monthly projects from beginning to end, which is learning how to do something, doing it, and then finishing a project. So at the end of 2021, I will have learned 12 new things by the end of the year. I want to learn new skills and find enjoyment and fun at the same time as being creative. And so some of the ideas that I have are to learn to use my Cricut. I have a bookbinding kit, a leather working kit. I have so much leather. Oh my God. I could literally make like 100 different traveler's notebooks. Needle felting, sticker making, watercolor painting, doing art on my iPad Pro. And those are just some. And so my mini goal is to learn to use my Cricut. And in turn, that will help me figure out sticker making, and it will also help me work with my iPad Pro, because my iPad Pro is what I use with my Cricut. So that is my first project, is to use my Cricut and figure all the ins and outs about it, do some designs and that kind of thing. But yeah, there will be 12 monthly projects for me to get through this year. Goal number 4, make our house a home. We have lived here 11 plus years. I think it's longer than that, but it's time to do some things that make us happy about being home more. And I've done quite a bit this year as far as our main floor goes. I got rid of our kitchen table and turned what was a dining room, a grand piano room into my sunroom, and it has changed the way the main floor feels, the overall ambience, everything. And it's also helped Greg and I spend more time together because we want to be up here on our couch and love seat, and it's just because it's so bright and airy and open, it has been so much more pleasant to be up here. So some of the things that I want to do is get new flooring still. That wasn't the plan for this year, but, and we still have the money for it. So many things got piled on top of everything else. With Saki passing away and everything, I just decided to wait until after the first of the year to work on getting bids on the new flooring. Organize our basement, organize the top floor. Our house is 3 stories. Sort, organize, and declutter. Top to bottom deep clean. Manage daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly cleaning schedule. I've also actually installed a new app called Toady, and you can put in different rooms and what you need to get done, either daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly. And it's a free app. And so far, I've really enjoyed using it. I am already behind, but that's okay. I want to start a bigger garden this year with more diverse planting, get the trees and the stump removed out of our front yard, paint the main floor, repair some big issues that we still have. And by big issues, I mean like fixing some sheetrock and some painting places that have some holes. Add a full comfortable set of patio furniture for our outdoor patio. And then we want to get a bigger TV. We have a 65-inch downstairs in our den, but we're spending less and less time there just because it's colder down there during the winter. And so, but we do want to get a bigger TV for down there, probably an 82 to an 86-inch. Then we'll move the 65-inch up to the main floor, and then the 55-inch up to our bedroom. And so the mini goal for, January through March is collect bids for new flooring on our main floor and get it installed as soon as possible. I also want to start organizing the basement and figuring out what things go where, but you'll see that in a later goal. Goal number 5, create more fun and enjoyment this year because COVID. I didn't really go into this because it's kind of hard to kind of pinpoint this, especially when we have no idea what's going to happen in 2021. But I want to include more date nights. I want to plan our trip to Costa Rica. We should have been there over Christmas or over our anniversary this year, but we didn't. I want to go start going to SCA events again once they start adding them back in. I want to plan a trip to see Kelly in Texas, visit friends near and far, have game nights with friends, do social gatherings with adults again. I want to do some belly dance videos. I want to actually pick up my sax again and start playing and getting to a point where I'm much more comfortable playing again. I want to learn either the guitar or ukulele and do some courses there. My mom has this beautiful mother of pearl accordion that I need to find, figure out who has it, where it went, and I would love to take lessons. And then we have Gulf Wars, which is in Louisiana, and it is October 2nd through the 10th. Then we also have Australia War, but these are both SCA events in November. We just don't have a date yet. And then I have Sport of Kings, which is in Washington State, and that's in August. So those are 3 of the SCA events that I want to attend. Hopefully my schedule at work and sickness, pandemic, everything else cooperates. So this one is still kind of in flux. but I want to find some instructional videos for belly dance and start to do those. And then kind of get an idea of what kind of date nights and things like that are different than what we've been doing, and start incorporating those. So this one's the one that's most in flux right now, just because January 1st doesn't mean that the pandemic goes away, obviously. All right. Goal number 6, prioritize my mental health. And again, this is the one that I blatantly stole from Cindy. Because stress and work are getting to me in ways that I don't like. I need to focus more on self-care now more than ever. And what I've gotten here, I didn't break this down here yet. I'm working on more defined self-care goals and things like that for Finding 52. And because that is continuing on into 2021, I just want to add to it. And so there's another goal that needs to happen first before I can finish this. But create a self-care plan for 2021 that also incorporates mental and physical health and fun. So incorporating all of those. And so my fun needs to be more fleshed out, as does this, as does my self-care plan, so that I can kind of make all of those gel. But those will come together within the first 3 months of this year, hopefully within the first month. Goal number 7, use what I have, spend less. I have so much stationery supplies that I need to start using it and not hoard it any longer. It does me no good sitting hidden on a shelf. At the end of 2021, what does success look like? I will have gone through my stash and put money aside for travel. And what will happen if this does not happen is I will run out of room and not be able to ship everything overseas after retirement. So I will also enjoy rediscovering what I have in my stash and sharing that with everyone. So instead of a lot of new things or unboxings this year, going forward, it will be what I'm going to use for the month or the quarter. And I have decided on setting a spending budget for each month or quarter. I need to go through and determine what's off limits, what I can replace when needed, and then go through my notebooks. I have it. I just need to use it. And hoarding it is not doing anybody any good. So what my goal for the January through March is sort out all my ephemera and get it organized so that it's easy to use during the year. And that is starting with Cocoa Daisy, organizing my cubes downstairs, going through my pen stash, see what I don't want or gift it away, catalog what I plan on using during the year, and figure out the no spend, low spend budget. So that's my goal, my mini goal for January through March. And this kind of feeds back into organizing the basement area because that's where my fun desk is. And a lot of the things, when I set up my desk downstairs, a lot of things got just pushed into the den and piled up in boxes and whatnot. And it just kind of sat there because when the pandemic hit, it's like, I need to focus on getting an office area set up and being able to work from home. And that was the most important thing. So now that that's pretty well set, I need to go downstairs, work on that area. Greg also needs to work on that area because when I shifted my desk and got a whole new setup, he took my old desk and made his desk twice as big. But a lot of his stuff needs to be sorted through, and a lot of stuff I had needs to be sorted through. And so that organizational project is both about using what I have, spending less because I have it, I just need to find it and use it, and organizing or starting the organization for the basement. So that kind of works into the whole plan as well. And then finally, my brand, bigger, better, more badass, which I know sounds kind of crazy, but I feel like I'm kind of stuck and I want to push the envelope a bit and push past the status quo. I love the way my channel is going. And for the first few years that I've had it, I've just kind of been doing incremental moves forward. I broke 3,000 followers this year, but I would like to do more. And it's time that I actually incorporated that into a plan, not just, oh, I want to hit 4,000 followers and not have a plan to do that. So I want to create time every week, every month, every quarter to focus on how I want to move forward. I want to create goals that support all of my social media channels. I want to interact more with my Facebook group, my Twitter account, and find ways to give more to those I care about. Create a content plan, schedule it, refresh it, use what I am learning to help others, engage more with Finding 52, and update everything. I also want to branch out and tie all my channels together again, and get back to blogging. I've kind of fallen away from that just because there's only so many times you can talk about how bad 2020 is, and I just didn't want to get in that loop again. But I think I'm ready to move forward with that. I want to refresh all my channels and update with 2021 goals and dreams. I want to refresh the posting schedule. I want to list more topic options and set aside time for what's important to me. And because work kind of just overflowed into everything, it was harder for me to separate work life and home life and my personal work choices with my channel. And so I want to separate that, and I want to be able to end work at 5 o'clock, then have time to work on my own things, and then have time for me. So creating a schedule for all of that and, incorporating my wanting to improve my health and my mental health and all of that goes into all of this. And my channel, my brand, I didn't know really how to put this, and putting it as my brand just sounds douchebaggy, but it's just a way for me to incorporate that. And so I was just like, I didn't want to have to write out, my YouTube channel, my Facebook group, my Twitter account, my Instagram account, my TikTok, all of that. It's just, okay, let's just use that and try not to sound stuffy or over the top. But here I am trying to explain it anyway. Anyway, there's that. So now what I will do is I will go through and I will put all of these mini goals for January through March here and break them down so that I am not working on everything in January. So some of these will get done in January, some in March, some in February, and work it out that way. I do not have a plan to do all of them all at once. I would much rather see how January through March goes and then see about April through May, then July to September, and October to December, because invariably, I can guarantee you, if I decided to put them all here throughout the entire year, it would all fail. Because like something that I would put down in February, I would get done, or something that I had planned on doing in July, I would have gotten done in February, and then I would have to mark through it, and that just annoys me. So we'll do 3 months at a time. And I have put these little goal sheets. What are these called? Wild cards. That's what those are called. I got the whole packet, and the perpetual calendar and year of celebration. Here's where I've put different events that I will be hopefully attending or want to attend, or things that are happening in that month that I want to focus on. A year of celebration I want to use as good things that happened in those months. And this is just a place that I can put those. And then I have not done January's yet, but I will do those once January 1 hits. I know it's Thursday or Friday of this week, but I'm trying not to just, do everything all at once. I want to take my time, and this has been a process. With these other wild cards, I have them broken down. You get 6 of these and 4 of these and 4 of these, the fun list. And so I've broken them down by quarter. So I was glad that we got 4 of these so that if my goals did change or I needed to tweak them, I would have a way to tweak them. And I can just put those going forward. Then you got 2 of the financial check-ins. And I will do 1 January through June and then 1 July through December. And then in these others, the organization and decluttering, books to read this year, goals at a glance. Those are the other 2 for quarter 2. Then my morning routine and evening routine, cultivated self-care, create a life-giving home, relationship tending, my go-to meals, my go-to dinners. Those are what I'm focusing on in the first 6 months. And that's why I've got just those put up here. And then my stickers. So there you have it. These are my goals. Whoops. And that's where I'm at so far this year. So hopefully if you are doing this, you have gotten at least this far. But if not, that's your choice too. I decided, since I spent the money to get this done, that I wanted to go through this. And every month, I will be going through this with you and letting you know, what I got accomplished. And so I will be doing my monthly ideas, my weekly ideas, and my daily ideas, and then doing my tending list and doing my review for you every month. So that's at least one video that I will be doing each month in the coming year. But those are my goals for 2021 so far. And I am, pretty happy about where they're at right now. I do, have to put the caveat in that they may change. I don't know. But at least I have kind of a path moving forward. And hopefully, something major doesn't happen, in 2021 that makes me want to throw all my goals out the window again, like the pandemic did this year. So there you have it. As always, spend the rest of your life celebrating because it is worth every moment. And I hope you start the new year the way you want to start the new year. Try your best to start it on a positive note, no matter what's happened in the past year. And that's what this is me trying to start 2021 on a positive note. I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the year, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.